Kyrie Irving's a free agent this summer, and there's been some informed discussion that he could link back up with LeBron James. The two won a championship together back in Cleveland in 2016. But Kyrie isn't enjoying the talk surrounding his name, addressing the public himself on IG Live.
I just wanted to clear some things up. Like, I'm a free agent this summer, but I am in no rush to make a decision. And the speculation around my name from all these individuals that get on TV and have these personalities, all these people that have, these platforms. And I'm talking about the TV personalities, the sports folk that try to mix sports with politics and lifestyle and like that. Like, when they speak on my name and they're talking about potential teams that I'm going to, can y'all please, I respectfully, I'm asking you, please stop paying attention to that. Like, I am in no rush to make a decision.
All right, Wendy. A lot to unpack there. What do you make of what Kyrie just said?
Yeah, I think the thing with Kyrie is I think you're always better off to keep an eye on actions over words. And, the actions are that Kyrie has been really, really focused on his contract for a long time. He had this debate whether he was going to pick up his option with the Nets before last summer. And at that time, the Lakers were something that he was interested in. The Lakers had some interest in him as well. And then at midseason, the Nets were playing pretty good basketball, even with Kevin Durant injured. And Kyrie made his contract the focus. When he, didn't get the contract extension that he wanted, or the offer that he wanted from the Nets, he demanded a trade. And so for Kyrie to say he's not thinking about his contract, I don't think his actions reflect that. I think he thinks about it a lot. And when he comes to multiple Laker playoff games with the Lakers potentially an option again, I'm sorry, the actions are indicating that he is, that is something at the front of his mind. Now, I will say this. I think when you look at Kyrie this summer, I don't think that anybody should discount the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, one of the things that is definitely out there in the league is that the Mavericks, could make that number 10 pick available in the upcoming draft. They have some contracts that they could attach to it to trade, and I think they're hunting for a big-name complementary piece to put alongside Luka Doncic to get Kyrie Irving in the fold. But one of the things that's going to be important to Kyrie, again, not that I'm speculating anything, I'm just reacting to his actions, the way he's prioritized the contract and the high number and the high guaranteed years, is he's going to want to know what that offer from the Mavericks is. And I'm not sure that the Mavericks are going to make the kind of offer that Kyrie wants. So with all of that out there, I think it only benefits Kyrie in his contract situation, frankly, to be linked to the Lakers. Now, Rob Pelinka, I'm not sure Rob Pelinka likes the connection either, because when he comes out at his end-of-season press conference this week and says, we're focusing on retaining our young core, that's code for we're not going free agent shopping for a player like Kyrie Irving. So there's a lot of words and maneuvering that is going on right now. But when you have a player of Kyrie Irving's talent level at his age, 31, still much in his prime, it is going to be a significant topic of conversation, especially when Kyrie has made his contract such a central part of his actions over the last 12 months.
Monica, Wendy, that video is pay no attention to this that I'm making you pay attention to right now. That's literally what that is, right? Because I'm hearing all about it. I'm talking all about it. People coming up to me. Everybody's talking about it. Yeah, and Wendy, I hope you get the 3% out of whatever leverage contract that he gets out of all this attention, and the fact that we are able to create, another team that could be interested in him out of thin air. It's like, we connect the dots. You're sitting courtside. Everybody sees you. What do you think we're going to think? That you're just there for support? No, we know why you're there. Everybody knows why you're there. It's a matter now of can it work, can it happen? Meanwhile, Nico Harrison and Jason Kidd and Dallas and Mark Cuban are going, hang on a second. Are you going to leave us? Do you want to go to L.A.? Are we not going to have you? Because we need to know ahead of time so we can make other plans so that Luka Doncic is happy. And then that's when he says, well, I didn't say any of that stuff. That's someone else speculating. So now you create that leverage that is perfect for it. But another thing, of course, is to suggest that he would take less money to go to L.A. Take less? Wendy, please. There's no way he's going to take less money when he wouldn't take less money or less years to stay in Brooklyn, and that he's already telling Dallas that he wants as much money as he can get. This is a perfect setup. We are doing his dirty work once again. And I hope, like I said, I hope, Wendy, you get that 3% commission that should be coming to you for bringing this to light.
I'm not really sure what to say here. This is going to be fascinating to watch unfold. Of course, Kyrie says one thing, but to your point, Wendy, we got to just see what happens.
You know what? You don't need to say anything because there's another direction I want to go to right now.
Because I'm like,
no. I'm just curious from a basketball perspective. Would you rather see Kyrie with LeBron? I know you've seen it before, but with the Lakers, or staying in Dallas with Luka?
I think there are things that are intriguing about both. For me, Dallas is a little bit more interesting when I think of the league as a whole. While everybody's upset that the Lakers got swept to the Nuggets, the Lakers had a good thing going. Best defense in the league since the All-Star break or trade deadline. They got to the Western Conference Finals. If that team stood pat, I don't hate that, right? Like, of course, we're going to be discussing AD's role and what he's capable of doing. Can Austin Reeves elevate to be the guy ad nauseum? But I think that roster, as currently constructed, is not a bad roster. To me, if it works out in Dallas, now obviously they had zero depth after this trade got done. But if they can find the pieces, and I know this is far easier said than done, that can complement those two guys in terms of defenders, shooters. Like, I'm not concerned about Kyrie and Luka working together. Kyrie has played alongside stars. That's not an issue to me. They're both two really high basketball IQ guys. The more time they have to gel, I think we avoid some of the hiccups that we saw last season. So to me, Dallas is a little bit more interesting when I look at the league as a whole. And could he actually be the piece that helps Luka to get over the hump? But I think both have good reason to be solid basketball fits.
They played 16 games together. They won 5 of those games.
Did you hear what I said? You give them some more time.
More time?
And you give them some help. They had nobody around them.
Well, you're going to need to get them better defenders.
You have to get. You wasn't listening? I said you got to get some defenders and some shooters around them.
A lot better defenders.
To flesh out the rest of that roster.
Right.
I got you. It needs some work.
Dallas invested so much in that trade and making that move. And now they also have to be concerned with Luka and where he is mentally as far as, like, are they building a championship roster around me? Because some of the moves that they have made, the Porzingis trade, that didn't work out. Christian Wood, that didn't work out. You know, like, all the different moves have not worked out yet. And eventually there's this thought that he's going to reach a point as I can't win here, and so I need to go somewhere else to try to win. And so they have to be worried about that. So they're invested in this, which tells me that they will be invested in trying to keep Kyrie and see, like you just said, try to make it work.
It out? Yeah.
But it doesn't make the Laker thing not any more intriguing because of the relationship with LeBron and knowing that LeBron is at the end, and will they give it one last shot together and see if they can win one more time, if that's enticing enough. But it, as Wendy said, it doesn't sound like it's enticing enough for the Laker front office.
Two things stand in the way on the Lakers. To me, they could be in the same position in terms of what it's going to cost you to potentially get Kyrie. And if actions do speak louder than words, it's about the money. They can't afford to pay him what the Dallas could potentially. But if you add Kyrie, that roster's going to take some hit and need some piecing together in terms of making sure they have an adequate support cast too.
That's three high-level players, of course, and add Anthony Davis to the conversation with LA.
I got you.
And that's them chasing it with stars one more time instead of the stability of a deep roster.
Wendy?
Yeah, I mean, I think the let's say about Kyrie Irving, LeBron, and Anthony Davis. I honestly believe that Kyrie was the best fit as a perimeter player that LeBron has had in his career, because he can take the pressure off of LeBron to create the offense. He can allow LeBron to rest while he's playing, which is something he's been very important in the later stages of his career. And he's terrific as a shooter. So when LeBron draws attention, he can act as a shooter. Kyrie was not comfortable in that role. He yearned to get out of it, which is one of the reasons why he asked for a trade. But the best perimeter player he's played with, in my opinion, is Kyrie. And the best big man he's played with, in my opinion, regardless of Chris Bosh and Kevin Love, is Anthony Davis. And so you can see why, in a vacuum, that LeBron would potentially be attracted to the idea of being paired with those two players. Two guys he's won championships with, he has been through the battles with, and he has a history with. Whether or not that's the best decision for the Lakers is a different story. They're all older now. All three of them, LeBron has been missing games. We know AD and Kyrie miss games. Is it smart to invest that much into three players that have difficulty staying healthy? I mean, these are all factors. But, there might even be another team or two that would have interest in Kyrie. I mean, the one thing I would say is when Kyrie asked to be traded, regardless of the headaches that he put the Nets through, 4 teams, as far as I know, 4 teams stepped up and showed interest. Dallas, Phoenix, and both LA teams showed interest. I think there is a market for Kyrie. And so I think that is going to be one of the most fascinating things in this summer. I mean, both Kyrie Irving and James Harden are in interesting situations in that they are free agents that might not be playing, in their primes really anymore, or maybe their best basketball is a little bit behind them, but they could have another team apply pressure to their current team to make a better offer. And so that is going to be one of the big things that is going to be dominoes in this offseason. What happens with those two guys, especially as it works towards leverage on their current teams?
Buyer beware. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, you're not into it.
Buyer beware.
If anybody could keep it on track, there's enough equity between him and LeBron.
Yeah.
I think he.
How'd it work in
When
Brooklyn?
he just threw Phoenix out there, I was like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No,
They didn't even talk to each other when they were played against each other. Kevin Durant and Kyrie didn't even talk to each other.
That's not a big deal.
It's going to be interesting.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.